Hi kids, I've got some more subtle makeup on today because sometimes you feel like a little, sometimes more, but I've also got my famous Cock Prince t-shirt. I made this using some flocked iron-on appliques, so it's got a velveteen feel to it. And originally, it was two pieces that said Rock Princess. So I took, where did it go? So I took my, my X-Acto blade. I've also seen these called a craft knife, but, yeah, I'm old, so I use the old brand name for them. The X-Acto knife, and I just, cut the, the R from Rock and the double S from Princess, and cut a C from the other piece, and rearranged it just, so that it fit there, ironed it on. You might still be able to find such appliques at a craft store such as Joann or Michael's, or you can search eBay if you want to make your own. But yeah, this is, as best as I can tell right now, this is one of a kind, and I've got a lot of friends, and, the girl at, Name Brand Tattoo, she loves this. The girl, oh shit, I forget her name. I knew her name. I swear I knew her name. But she's usually working at the counter, taking people's appointments and all that. And, she loves this t-shirt. And the one of the boys at the burrito place around the corner from my apartment, he loves this t-shirt. He's like a little bit on the hipster / berry side, but it's apparent to me that he's a little bit gay. At least a little bit, so he loves this t-shirt. But yeah, the girl at Name Brand Tattoo in downtown Ann Arbor, she just loves this. In fact, every time I come in there, she's like, "Are you wearing this shirt?" I'm like, "No, not today." Well, when I'm not wearing it. When I am wearing it, I have to open up my jacket and show it off. So I'm on the floor today rather than sitting up at the thing. Rather than sitting up on the floor, so I'm like laying out like this because I had a bit of a pain today. I had to go, so yesterday's doctor's appointment that I mentioned in my Get Ready With Me. Oh god, I look so jowly from this angle. So my doctor's appointment, that was about my knee injury. Some of you may know that Christmas night, I was honestly just snuggling, well, at that point, it was just snuggling on the floor with the young man I'm cohabitating with. And I get up to throw away some black bananas that were in the fruit bowl, because I'm just that much of a fag, right? That I've got a fruit bowl, and I've got a coffee table, so I have to put fruit in the fruit bowl on the coffee table, because that's what you do, right? At least it's all real fruit, rather than some plastic or wax or wooden bullshit. Stuff that I have to dust all the time. Now it's stuff I get to eat, right? So yeah, I don't usually eat bananas, but there was a bunch of bananas at Whole Foods that somebody had obviously just left them in their cart, and I thought, okay, I could either take them back into the store, and they'd be thrown out, most likely. If the bananas are lucky, then an employee would get to take them home, right? Why am I gesturing with that? Or I could take them home. My young man I'm cohabitating with, he might eat them, and if he doesn't eat them, then, honestly, the only way I'll eat bananas is to make a banana bread. I don't even like them in smoothies. It's like, oh god, so starchy. So starchy, the Cavendish, bananas that you get at the store in, the U.S. This was just clearly just Cavendish, the bright yellow ones, and, you want to eat them just as they get a couple little spots on them. Oh, it's so fucking starchy. so starchy. I don't like them. I don't like them. They've got a really, I mean, the texture isn't bad, but they've got a really gross flavor. I almost prefer the really artificial taste of banana flavoring to the flavor of actual bananas. A friend of mine expatriated to France last year, and she swears bananas taste better in France than they do in the United States, but I don't know, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical myself. So, bananas, right, coffee table. They'd gone black in the fruit bowl, so I got up to throw them out. Just at the moment, my young man, just, moves in just the right way, to change out the DVD, because we were actually cuddling on the floor watching movies. Yeah, we were doing other things earlier than that, but we had watched a movie, and I end up tripping over him, falling face first into this blender that I've been trying to sell on Craigslist. It's an older, modern-style blender, but I found a vintage 70s one that I like a lot better, and honestly, it's got a smaller picture, so I'm not tempted to make huge quantities of things that I'm not going to eat right away, right? So then what happens? So I fall face first in the blender. This eye hits right into the blender, and the top is on the pitcher, so I had a very slight black, bruising around that eye for a few days, but that went away very quickly. It was fairly slight. My first reaction was to take off my glasses, pass them to Isaac, and ask if my glasses were all right, and, they were, obviously, because, with my prescription, there's no way I'm getting new glasses in less than 2 weeks, and especially since I would have had to make an appointment to get them all, so obviously my glasses survived that, and I sprained my left ankle and my right knee, and my right knee is not healing as fast as expected to. That was the assessment from the doctor yesterday. So today, instead of going to pick up my my supplies for my sleep apnea machine that I was hoping to do today, yay! I get to put it off another day. It's already been waiting there at the University of Michigan Metaquip for about a week for me. Oh, lovely. I should have just had them mail it to my P.O. box. It would have gotten to me faster. But, so, instead of that, I had to go to the hospital today for x-rays on my knee, just because they said, just due to the way that sprains happen, if it's a very tiny fracture, it might not be visible from the first x-ray. It's one of those things that might just surface later, or with the fluid, might be obscured by the fluid around the sprain. It's still a little bit swollen. Not as bad as it was, but it's still a little bit swollen. And so just basically, my knee's not healing like it should. So, that was a pain and a half today. And when I got home after that, and then I had to go pick up some medications from Walgreens, and then because I'm one of those people that would, if I can technically afford to, I will use a coupon on principle, because my father was about 40 when I was born, and so he had his two older sisters remembered the Depression fairly clearly. He was born just after, in one of the, the year, he was born the year the U.S. entered World War II, so a couple years after the Depression, and, oh, it's lovely, so, he's, and his parents never really left the Depression-era mindset, and, his eldest sister never really did either. So, I grew up with these ideas that, probably, I'm not surprised that I've got friends of mine who are fairly close to my age. Like my friend Esther, on my 20th birthday, so when I was 19 years old, a day or two before my 20th birthday, she commented that I looked very good for my age, and I'm like, Esther, how old do you think I am? 32? And I said, Esther, I'm 19 years old until Tuesday. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all that there are people who think I'm older than I am, based on various attitudes and tastes and things, and, you know, just certain ideas that are just stuck in my head, like, you know, like Depression-era stuff that my father grew up with and passed on to me. But I'm also not surprised, just based on my face, that there are people who think I'm a lot younger than I am. My father had that going on, too, so it's obviously, like, some really nice genetics going on. We've got vampires in our blood. Irish vampires in our blood. Oh, speaking of my father, it's really interesting. He is number 3 out of 4, and he's the only boy, and I myself am number 3 out of 4, you know, if you count my, even though, like, my older 2 sisters, they are, they are each from different parents. So my eldest sister, she's my mum's from a Frank Zappa concert. I'm not shitting, a Frank Zappa concert, 1967, and my father's eldest, she's from his second wife. His first wife died when they were 19, and she was 5 months pregnant, and he had a nervous breakdown and started hopping freights for a few years. And then what happened? And so yes, I'm the 3rd out of 4, and the only boy. Granted, I'm also trans. I'm also trans male, so... Oh well, but still, I'm the only boy. It counts. It counts. Don't give me shit, Internet. So I thought I'd do a video today about New Year's resolutions. I'm mostly Hellenic in my religious practices. I work through a calendar based on the Viotian calendar cycle. So they had their New Year approximately the first new moon after the solstice. At least that's what I figured out through my research. Like I said, my calendar is based on that. Some of the holidays are, you know, where they should be. Others, I'm just taking guesswork and divination into the equation for placing those holidays. So, right? So this would be about my New Year, probably yesterday. Oh, God. I haven't actually, like, made up the proper calendar in a while, and I feel kind of bad about that, but I know, like, on the, not Excel. I actually use Word for it, but I haven't made that up, but I know about what I should be doing throughout the year. So this would be about my New Year. So here I've got, actually, I've got 12 New Year's resolutions, and so by the time I get to 13, hopefully I will have thought of something, right? Alright, number 1, I want to start exercising a minimum of 20 minutes, 3 times a week, and that's assuming my body will let me. I have a lot of chronic pain to manage, so, if I have to do 10 minutes, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. If I have to do 2 days a week, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. And, of course, if if there are some weeks where I feel better and can do more, I will do more. I'm not going to beat myself up about it if I don't stick to this exactly, but, this is an approximate goal. Like, none of these are going to be, I know I'm not going to beat myself up about it. If I can't make it to this exact thing, this is just an approximate, right? Right. Number 2, I want to make a goal of drinking 2 of these bottles of water a day. Why? I love sodas. I do. I love sodas. I love fizzy sodas. Even though I've switched to the sugar-free a lot of time, I know those aren't really good for you either. So, I figure if I can replace 1 fizzy soda a day, which I really don't drink that much anymore, but I love them, So if I can keep, and, you know, juice is not really all that much better, especially the, you know, the basic, you know, bottled juices that, you know, have the vacuum seal, and you buy them in the unrefrigerated section of the grocery store. Those aren't very good for you. Even a lot of the better bottled juices, you know, they've got so much sugar added to them. It's not that great for you. It's barely better than soda because of all, you know, and the reason it's better is because, you know, there are actually, like, good vitamins and nutrients in these. It's just, you know, there's so much sugar. So if I can replace one serving of soda or juice a day with this bottle of water, and I usually take it around with me anyway, just because some of my medications I've got to watch for dry mouth, so, right? So, about 2 of these a day. Again, you know, if I, you know, decide I'm going to have a soda that day and only one of those, fine. You know, if I decide to have 3 of these and no sodas or juice, fine. You know, it's just an approximate goal I want to do. So, then I've got a schedule for chores. This is based on 1920s, you know, standard, you know, like Good Housekeeping type of magazine recommendation for household chores. And I want to do this, I want to do it this way just because, you know, it's just some kind of thing. And again, not going to beat myself up if I can't stick to it perfectly, because I have pain to manage, I have depressions and anxieties to manage, I gotta work around it rather than fight it, right? If I fight it, I'll drive myself nuts. You know, so if I work with it and remind myself, you know, just do what you can when you can. So Monday's going to be washing day, weather permitted, because I like to use the clothesline. Can't really use it in the winter, but the rest of the year saves me an extra $1.50 on the laundry, which works out to being $6 a month. $6 a month that I can use to buy cat food, because that is my life. I'm a cat servant, right? So Monday, weather permitting, do the washing. Tuesday, that's when I do any ironing that I might need to after the laundry, any steaming of clothes that might need it, any dry cleaning of clothes that might need it. If none of this has to happen, then I have an open day for doing other things. Wednesday, any mending I might need to do. I've got so many socks backed up for donning that I think, you know, if I can just, like, aim for an hour's worth of mending, you know, do that. If I can't... Now, the reason I want to do mending is I've noticed... so I've got carpal tunnel syndrome in this wrist, and it's really bad. I should be wearing a splint every night, just to keep my wrist stabilized. But I don't, because I'm lazy, right? My doctors also recommended that I do certain exercises for my wrist to keep things in shape. But I've noticed when I crochet, when I'm doing things like darning socks or sewing by hand, that's working the wrist muscle in a lot of the same motions of the exercise sheet that she gave me. So I'm not only mending my clothes and, you know, making crocheted items, but I'm also getting my exercises done, so it's like I'm multitasking in a way. So that's nice. Thursday is market day. That's when I go to the proper grocery store. Well, you know, the more conventional grocery store, and go shopping. Tuesdays, I also want to, like, when it's open, farmer's market. Farmer's market. Purple pen. Again, like, if you notice on the streets, you know, like, or at the shops where I'm at, and you notice that all my pens are purple, it's not clever to comment on it. Yes, I know all my pens are purple. Yes, I know purple is my favorite color. You're not clever to figure this out by being observant. You're just paying it like a basic attention to the world around you. Friday, I really need to vacuum on Fridays, at least every Friday possible. Not just for my own allergies, but Murnau has a dust allergy, or at least that's what the vet and I have concluded just talking on the phone, because he's otherwise healthy. He just has little sneezing fits a couple times a day sometimes. I was told, like, unless he's, like, like, dripping boogers all day. Sometimes he does get a booger, but, he sneezes it out and then he's fine. But, like, unless he's, like, dripping snot all day, or something, and, if he's acting otherwise healthy, the vet at the Humane Society says, it's probably not too big of a deal. Sometimes it is just, environmental allergies. So I gotta vacuum every week, just because, not just for me, but now I've got a cat who's got a dust allergy, so. Saturday, that's when I take in the recycling, and if my back is feeling up to it, I might want to do some baking, like making my own breads, or, just, like, doing up, like, some cinnamon rolls, maybe from scratch, or I can just do them from the tube, because why not? And Sunday, I would like to have some friends coming over every Sunday for board games and card games and whatnot. I also want to, like, maybe start with some music on Sundays, but that's something else I'll think about getting in. I mean, that's not exactly a goal now, is it? Item 4, so resolution number 4, I want to hit the food pantry every month just to kind of stretch my my food stamp benefits. And there's one at the Catholic Church up around the corner from my place. They are open almost every Thursday, like barring holidays. And the reason I wasn't there today is because when I got back from running my errands, so I got the x-ray done, and then I went to Walgreens, and then I went to, the coupon that I mentioned. The coupon was for Noodles and Company, buy one, get one free. I misread their coupon conditions at first, so it expires today, and the girls at the shop are pretty sure that means I cannot use it tomorrow. So I went and got that, and I had the Thai curry, the Thai green curry, and I got myself a big, what was this? Well, it's a big salad with chicken on it for later. So when I finally got back, my back was, like, in bad shape after, eating my Thai green curry noodles. So my back was just saying, no, Rowan, you're done for the day. So I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day. I'll go to the food pantry next week. It's still once a month, all right? So item number 5, my resolution, and this is something that should be easily done. My leather jacket, it needs to go in for a couple repairs that I cannot do myself, like the zipper, and the little belt loops for the strap across the waist. I can't do those myself. There is another split down the inner arm. I can do that myself with my darning cotton and 2 needles, but there are other repairs that I cannot do myself. I know it'll be like $50 for each repair, but I put aside a little bit of money each month for repairs. I can get that done. I also have a marcasite ring with 19 stones missing out of originally, like, I want to say 30 I counted on there. So that needs the stones replaced, and I bought it that way. So and I have a quote from Abracadabra Jewelers, who repaired my Clouda, the back. You can see a little bit where it was welded, but it was snapped in the back, and so they repaired this for $40. They quoted me $60 for the ring, and the woman who gave me that quote, she says, just bring this in, like, she wrote it down, they'll recognize my handwriting if I'm not here, and this is, what you've got for the ring repair. And the Ankh ring that I got at the thrift shop, I should take that in for repairs too. So those are easy things that I can reasonably get those done this year. Especially the jacket. I've been putting that off for a couple of years now. Item number 6, resolution for number 6. I want to finally get down and repair either myself or find, an electrician or somebody in the area who can repair or repair the belt on my record player. It's time. It's time. If I have the money, I might have them repair the playback side of the tape deck on that stereo, and maybe replace the backlight on the radio tuner. But that's not high on my priorities. My priorities is the fucking turntable, right? Resolution number 7. I want to, and this is up on my Goodreads profile, I want to read 13 books this year, minimum. And I want to concentrate on this, on the Ray Through series, which I started reading the first, the omnibus edition of the first trilogy about 5 years ago. I put it down for a while. I picked it back up. I had no idea where I was, and I picked it back up last year. I am mostly through it now, but I read very slowly. I always have, so I barely touched 7 books last year. I barely finished 7 books last year, and I had the same goal, but I'm going to put aside a little bit of time, daily, weekly, to get some reading in. That should not be hard for me, as long as I, can, and again, it's not like, like last year, I didn't even, hit I just barely hit the halfway mark on the reading goal. Not going to beat myself up if I don't get it done, but, the repairs to things, that's something that I can reasonably get done. Resolution number 8, I want to start volunteering at the Humane Society Cat Cafe, the Tiny Tigers Cat Cafe out on Jackson and Zeb Road, or Jackson near Zeb, in Ann Arbor on the other side of town from me. So, they've got the cats there, the Cat Cafe, and it would be doing something good with my time. I've got a lot of time, and I was talking to somebody the last time I was there, because, sometimes I need to take a break from my cats to go see other cats. Cats. So, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, and I talked to them there, and they've got a fairly flexible schedule with their volunteers, so that's nice. That's something I can do. Resolution number 9, I want minimum one of my meals a week to be a big salad. I know it's not the most nutritionally complete meal, but, I can find ways to, just one big salad. Just one big salad a week, maybe 2. Resolution number 10, meal schedule. So, I definitely want to keep to the meatless Mondays. I was a bit more flexible on that this last year, but I'm like, the young man I'm cohabitating with right now, he's a vegetarian. Technically pescatarian. He will eat, fish and shrimps and stuff, but, he's generally vegetarian. And I'm semi-veg, but I guess kids are calling that meat reducer now, so, basically, as I say to people, just because I do eat meat doesn't mean I always eat meat. Friday fish, because I grew up Catholic, and it just feels wrong to not eat fish on a Friday, right? Sunday, red meat on Sundays. And the reason I do want to make sure that I have, red meat in my weekly diet, and I know that, there is a noticed correlation between red meat, especially overprocessed red meat, and heart disease. While some minor heart disease does run on my mother's side of the family, when I was at my annual wellness exam on December 20th of 2017, my doctor wanted to do a full blood panel, and most of my levels were, my levels were pretty much all in the range of normal, so, like, my cholesterol, lipids, normal. I think those were kind of on the low side of normal, and, for the bad cholesterol, and, dead average normal for the good cholesterol, but I've had issues with anemia in the past, and usually I'm at the borderline, but this time, like for the first time in about 10 years, she said, that I've dipped down to, I've been a bit more anemic, than I have been in the last 10 years. So I chalk that up to the fact that the young man I'm cohabitating with, he is vegetarian, so, when we have meals together, which isn't always because of how scheduling works with his job and my daily things I do, mostly chore type related, so, it's just easier to make one meal that we both can have, right? Right, of course. So I've been eating more vegetarian stuff, and I haven't really noticed a difference in how I feel, as long as as far as, like, how I feel healthy. So I haven't really noticed a difference in that. I mean, if you want to say, oh, well, that's because you're still eating fish once a week, and that's because you're still eating chicken every once in a while. I'm like, no, obviously, that's not, that barely counts as eating meat. So when my doctor tells me that I'm more anemic than I've been in the last decade, that's a sign that, maybe I should do this, just like once a week. It's cheaper than iron pills. It's better on my system than iron pills. Iron pills constipate me for shit. And I'll probably do a whole video about why I'm not vegan and why I have very good reasons not to be. But yeah, the rest of the week, it's just like, whatever. I can be vegetarian those days. I can have, like, maybe chicken once a month on any of those other days. But, that's definitely a diet schedule that I want to stick to. And I've been mostly sticking to it this last year. Let's see, number 11, I want to record a minimum of 4 songs in 2018. Whether I release all of these right away or not, who knows, but I just want to do a minimum of 4 recorded. That's approximately 1 every 3 months. I think I can do that. Item 12 is eat more fruit. 13, I'm going to just do more art. I should make a goal to finally paint that canvas that's been traveling with me for the last 5 years. Oh god, longer than that. No, yeah, I've had that longer than I've had Nigel, so yeah, I'm finally going to paint that canvas this year. When this year? Who knows. But I'm going to paint that canvas this year. That is resolution 13, and that is the end of this week's, or, whatever. I make videos whenever, so, well, kids, you have a good time, and watch my very unflattering face. Don't know what else to say, except bats and kisses. Please, like, subscribe, whatever, with all that. I don't care too much if you do, but it's nice. It would be nice. It would be nice, if you want to. I trust you will if you want to. I don't think I have to tell you, to do so if you want to. It seems kind of pressuring. No, I'm not going to peer pressure you into liking or subscribing if you don't want to, but it would be nice if you did. But, if you want to.